What if the person you think you need to forgive most isn't actually the one who hurt you, but someone who lives deep inside your unconscious mind? What if healing isn't really about changing your relationship with your mother, but about changing how you relate to the image of her that still holds power over you? In this video, we'll uncover a challenging truth that many avoid: the powerful impact the mother archetype has on your emotional growth, your sense of who you are, and your ability to live freely. This insight comes from the work of the great psychologist Carl Jung. This journey won't be easy or comfortable, but it is necessary. Because until you face this part of yourself, true healing will always seem just out of reach. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community for early access to new videos and insights about personal and spiritual growth. Now, let's begin. Carl Jung introduced the idea of the mother complex to describe the deep, unconscious patterns we form during childhood around the figure of our mother. These patterns don't disappear once we grow up. Instead, they quietly guide how we react, what we expect, and how we handle our emotions. But the mother complex isn't about blaming your mom, it's about understanding how her psychic imprint lingers inside your inner world. These imprints often shape your emotional reactions in ways that don't make sense logically. You might find yourself intensely triggered by criticism, struggling to accept love without suspicion, or constantly chasing approval from others. These aren't just personality flaws. They're signs of a script written inside you during your earliest years, when your nervous system was still learning what safety really means. Even if your mother was physically present, the emotional mark she left might be confusing or painful. Maybe her love felt conditional. Maybe she expected more than you could give. Or maybe she was so caught up in her own struggles that there was no room left for yours. These experiences don't just wound you, they shape how you see yourself. You're not really fighting your mother. You're battling an inherited voice that still whispers through your fears and habits. Recognizing this is the first step toward freedom, but simply recognizing it isn't enough. We need to understand the deeper psychic machinery behind it, what Jung called the archetype itself. Archetypes in Jungian psychology aren't people. They're universal patterns of experience and emotion that exist across all cultures and time. The mother archetype is one of the most powerful. At its best, it represents nurture, safety, and origin. But when it's left unbalanced or twisted, it becomes a prison. It can take the form of control, fear of abandonment, or unhealthy dependence. This inner mother isn't always kind. Sometimes, she's harsh, critical, and relentless. She tells you that you must be perfect to be loved, that you must sacrifice to be accepted. She whispers that your needs are too much, your boundaries are selfish, and your ambitions are dangerous. This voice may sound like your mother's tone or language, but it lives inside you now. Even worse, this archetype follows you into your adult relationships. You might unconsciously expect your partners to save you, parent you, or heal wounds they never caused. And when they don't live up to these impossible expectations, you feel abandoned all over again. But it's not your partner who's really abandoning you. It's the archetype projecting your unmet childhood needs onto them. To break this cycle, you need to name this archetype, separate yourself from it, and start noticing when your actions are driven by this internalized image of your mother. This is how you stop being ruled by old myths and begin writing a new story for yourself. But even as you try to rewrite your inner narrative, there's another force quietly holding you back. Bert Hellinger's idea of invisible loyalty reveals one of the deepest psychological binds, the unconscious belief that healing beyond your parents' pain feels like a betrayal. Deep inside, there may be a silent promise you never agreed to, a vow to carry your mother's burdens so she wouldn't have to bear them alone. This loyalty shows up as self-sabotage. You might underperform right when success is near. You pull away from love just as it begins to feel safe. You deny your own desires because they feel too big. These aren't coincidences, they are echoes of a child who learned that outgrowing her emotional pain meant risking her love or losing her altogether. You might even find yourself copying her pain as a way to stay connected. If she was lonely, you stay isolated. If she was silenced, you hesitate to speak up. This unconscious imitation feels like loyalty but actually keeps you stuck. Her suffering is not your burden to carry. Your life isn't meant to be her redemption story. Healing here isn't rebellion, it's realignment. It's the brave choice to say, I honor you not by staying stuck, but by rising. I love you not by repeating your wounds, but by healing them within myself. If this video is helping you see things more clearly, consider sharing it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you want to support this kind of thoughtful content, click the thanks button below. Your support truly helps. Now, let's continue. Point one of the most powerful steps to break the pattern is to reparent yourself. This means learning to give yourself the care, guidance, and compassion you may never have consistently received. It's about becoming the mother your inner child always needed. It starts with listening. When sadness arises, don't push it away. When fear shows up, don't ignore it. When you feel overwhelmed, don't punish yourself for being weak. Instead, ask yourself, what do I need right now? What would a loving mother say to me in this moment? This kind of inner parenting isn't soft or easy. It requires discipline. You have to be alert to notice when you fall back into old patterns, when your inner critic takes over, or when your boundaries start to crumble just to keep the peace. You must become both the nurturer and the protector of your own soul. Validate your feelings, but also guide yourself with honesty. Hold yourself through failures without slipping into shame. Allow yourself rest without guilt. Celebrate your victories without needing anyone's permission. This is the rebirth of your self-worth. And if this feels unfamiliar, it's because you're doing something no one taught you. But it's worth it. As you practice this, your relationship with yourself becomes the foundation for every other relationship you have. From this place, you can finally stop projecting the mother archetype onto others and begin to meet people as equals. Which brings us to the final transformation. Breaking the pattern doesn't mean erasing your past. It means choosing not to let it define who you are. You may never get the apology you deserved. You may never have the maternal presence you longed for. But that's not the point. The point is, you are no longer a child. Now you get to choose. You can choose to stop identifying with the wounded child inside you. You can choose to release the story that healing depends on someone else changing. And you can choose to stop living by rules that were written for a version of you that no longer exists. This is not denying your pain. It's consciously deciding that pain will no longer be your home. Start by noticing the small moments when you say yes just to avoid guilt. When you shrink yourself to avoid envy. When you apologize for simply taking up space. These are your clues, echoes of that inner mother's voice. Question them. Ask yourself, who taught me this? Do I want to carry this any longer? This is where emotional adulthood begins. When you stop reacting out of habit and start acting with intention. When your values, not your wounds, guide your choices. When you catch yourself in old patterns, pause, breathe, and choose again. This is what breaking the cycle looks like in real life, not a single big moment, but thousands of small revolutions. It's not just about ending the pain. It's about creating space for something new. Joy that needs no permission, self-worth that demands no proof, love that doesn't cost your dignity. That's what you reclaim when you stop being loyal to what once broke you. Let your adult self speak. Let your clarity drown out inherited shame. Let your boundaries hold you, not as walls, but as a home. Because this is what freedom really means. Not the absence of pain, but the presence of power. Power that comes from no longer waiting and finally choosing yourself. You don't need to cut ties with your mother to heal, but you do need to redefine her place inside your mind. Stop waiting for her to change. Start showing up differently for yourself. The mother you seek isn't behind you, she's within you. She is you. The more you consciously integrate her, the less you'll need her outside yourself. And from that place, you can love without dependence, without resentment, without distortion. If this video resonated with you, please leave a comment below. I am the end of the pattern. Don't forget to subscribe to Mental Dose for more honest, deep, and transformative content. Share this with someone ready to reclaim their inner life. This is not the end of your story. It's the moment you take back the pen. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. You are not your wound. You are the one healing it. And that changes everything. If this video spoke to you and helped you see your healing journey in a new light, please make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected to more deep, honest, and transformative content designed to support your growth every step of the way. And don't keep this powerful message to yourself. Share this video with friends, family, or anyone who might need to hear it. Healing grows when we support each other. Together, let's break the patterns that hold us back and step into the freedom we deserve. Thank you for being part of this community.